Welcome podcast to another episode of BadAssKids. In this episode, we discuss the topic of charter schools, and we go hard body about it. Just listen. Hope you enjoy.
What about the badass kids? Yeah, what topic I got? Shit. Only thing I can think about with badass kids. Only thing I can talk about with badass kids is them fucked up kids that be in school. Cause one time I was tutoring, like I had volunteered to tutor in my son's class, and because it was a computer class, and so the teacher asked me, and so I was in there and this kid walked in. He had to be no older than about maybe 9. He was like, "What y'all motherfuckers in here doing? Who the fuck got that?" I was in shock.
What? That's what he said, little boy.
Little boy. Just ailing. And so my son looked at me and dropped his head. He knew what I was going to do. I was like, "Young man, why are you speaking like that?" I was like, "This is a classroom of teachers." He was like, "Well, who the fuck are you?" Oh. I said, "Young man, you need to stop talking like that right now." He's like, "What you gonna do?" "I'll get my uncle." I said, "Oh boy." I said, "You gonna have to bring more than that, little bro." I said, "We gonna stop with this nonsense right now." I said, "I'm not playing with you. You gonna have to go get somebody talking like this." But again, that goes back to what I'm saying. No fucking home training. I believe somebody was gonna co-sign his shit and he knew it. That white lady in there, looked like she just overlooked what he had said. I'm looking at her like she's fucking nuts too. I said, but I was younger back then. I didn't understand what I know now. And that lady didn't care about what that kid was doing. All she was there was for a paycheck. And once I started getting the hip to that and start getting a grasp of these things and like charter schools and all that, charter schools are bullshit. Flat out. Do not send your child to charter school. You're better off sending.
Why is that?
Huh?
Why is that?
Charter schools are a pipeline to prison. If you look at the charter school, you see the kids that wear the uniforms in the morning, right?
Yeah, I know somebody in charter school, yeah.
Right. They usually have either a blue or red or maroon shirt, and they wear khaki pants, and they got to wear black shoes.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I want you to go into Best Buy, Walmart, and Target and take that child and put that child right beside them and see if they don't look alike.
Okay.
That's crazy. They think, I get their premise about, well, we don't want the kids distracted with fashion or nothing like that. That's their excuse. Okay, they want to keep it in uniform. And when you when you go to a charter school, they don't have a principal. They have a director or CEO. That's a company. Because I was like, she was like, "Oh, well, our director." I'm like, "Director?" I said, "Is this a school or a company?" So this is when my kids was going to charter school. I'm only speaking on experience because I went at it with these people, left and right. Like not at it like verbally, like attacking them, but I always had questions for them that they could not answer. So we was in the front office one day, and that's when I noticed it. And I said, "Can y'all answer?" Because that's when they had told my child that they couldn't wear boots to school and it was snowing. And I'm like, well, why you won't let them wear boots? Oh, because it's not part of the uniform. I said, but it's snowing outside, so you're going to have the kids have their feet wet. Well, they can bring their boots and bring their sneakers at the same time. I said, okay. So we're going to let a 6-year-old and a 7-year-old bring 2 pairs of shoes, and you expect both of them pair to come home? They can't even bring they half of them don't even come home with their coat. Ain't nobody got no money to be sitting and spending to go buy boots and shoes because this kid done lost his shoes. And you're not going to keep up with them. So why would I do that? Does that make sense? Then they lined them up against the wall. They can't speak. If one does something, all get in trouble. I'm not with that.
Yeah, I ain't know about that stuff.
Yes.
I know.
It's like, okay, if one person makes a disruption in the class, then everybody's at trouble. Like, nobody can't do anything. So, like, you're expecting the whole class to hold this one kid accountable. What if that kid just don't give a fuck what the other people think? Now what?
Mm-hmm.
And this is and these are the things that with charter schools I have a problem with. So when I was in there, I had said to the secretary of the school, I know her because she was there before they made it a charter school. She just transferred over. And so I was just like, I said, answer me a question. And so I said, why do the kids look like Best Buy workers? Everybody in there jumped up and looked crazy. They was like, please don't say it around us. Huh?
What did you say?
I asked her, I said, why do you guys have the kids looking like Walmart and Best Buy workers? And they're like, what do you mean? I said, look at the uniform. Go take them to Walmart. There's no difference. They was like, well, and that's when one of the ladies came up. She's like, please just don't say that around other parents. We don't want to get them started. I'm like, what do you mean? They're going to figure this out if they're smart enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yo, and then, so I had been teaching my daughter Black history before she got into the 6th grade. So when she gets into the 6th grade, she gets ancient civilization. That's what one of her classes is. So they give her a syllabus, and she sees it. She's like, oh, Dad, there's ancient Egypt on there. She's like, yeah. So she's excited. And then they start the whole premise off with they said that my daughter comes up, she's like, Dad, well, Adam and Eve helped create the earth. I said, where'd you get that from? And she's like, this is what it's saying.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, they gave her the creation story. So I called and I asked the teacher. I said, why did you give the creation story? I said, do you not know that religion, the church, and the state are separate? You can't teach the Bible in charter school or public school or nowhere else. And that is not the beginning of creation. That's your religious belief of creation. You can't give this child religious belief and have them roll along with that. So my daughter went in and that's when she started. She was like, my daughter, she was wild. Right? She was like, well, black people were the first people on the earth. And the first one was black. And her name was Lucy. And she's about maybe, I don't know, what she say, 2.5, 2.7 million years old, something like that. So her teacher was like, no, it's not. My daughter was like, yes, it is. Go look it up. Why did my daughter get homework 2 days later with that shit all on it?
Yeah.
Yep. So then my daughter went at him again. And so my daughter said, she was looking at the map. And she said, the map is upside down. That's what she told her teacher. And she's like, no, it's not. And she's like, yes, it is. And she's like, my daddy told me that the 2 longest rivers tell you how to measure the world. And she's like, it's the Nile River and the Amazon. She said the Nile runs south to north. She said it's upside down. Teacher said, no, it isn't. My daughter said, go look it up on Google. They looked it up on Google. There it is. So I'm coming now. At this particular point, she's on her 3rd ancient civilization teacher. Like, I was running them out of there. Every time they gave my daughter some crazy information when she came home, I called them on the phone. So when my daughter came home and told me that she told me that Egypt was in Europe, I said, "Who told you that?" She said, "My teacher." I said, "What?" I said, "Baby, come here. I want you to look right here on this computer and tell me, what in the hell do you see?" She said, "Dad, that's Africa." I said, "Okay, Europe is over there and Africa is over here. Egypt is in Africa, baby. Does that look like Europe to you?" She's like, "It's not even close." I said, "Well, there you go." So I went up and talked to the director, and I said, "Hey, please explain something to me." I said, "You guys have ancient civilization teachers, correct?" She was like, "Yes." And I was like, "Well, answer me one question. Far as I know of, Egypt has not moved. Are we in agreement? Egypt hasn't moved in millions of years, right?" She's like, "No." I said, "Well, why in the world did your instructor tell my child that Egypt was in Europe?" She's like, "She did what?" I'm like, "Yes. She did do this." I said, "That is a basic part of geography, and if she doesn't know that, she should not be teaching." That right there is crazy. You want to take Africa and move it over there to Europe. And you know why I don't think it's crazy? Because that is the mindset that's been given.
That's the one?
That is the mindset that's been given. People don't think Egypt's in Africa. How much you want to bet?
I don't want to bet. I do not want to bet anything.
Now, to you, that sounds simple and sounds dumb. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Go out in the polls and go out in the streets and take a poll and ask them where Egypt is. Is Egypt in Europe or Africa? I guarantee you a lot of them will say Europe. Because you equate Egypt with Moses, right? No? Well, they said Moses, and every movie that you see, Moses is a white man. But if you go read the Bible, once again, and this is another thing that fucked me up too. What's in the movies for like the 10 Commandments and Moses, that shit is not true. If you go read the book and read that movie, they're totally different. What God told him, God made Moses stick his hand inside of his shirt or his cloak, whatever you want to call it. And he pulled his hand out and it became white and it scared him. He put his hand back in and it turned the same. I bet you never knew that. Huh?
No, I didn't.
It's in the Bible.
Really?
Yeah, it's in the Bible. When he was by the burning bush, he stuck his hand inside his cloak and he pulled it out. God turned his hand white and it scared him. He put his hand back in his cloak and his hand turned back to normal, and he knew that he was dealing with the true God. That's what happened at the burning bush. Go look it up. I tell anybody, go look it up. He stuck his hand in there and it turned white. So that's telling me right then and there that Moses wasn't white. Because I know if you stick your hand inside your shirt and pull it out white, it's going to scare you. If a white man puts his hand in his shirt and pulls it out white, it ain't going to do nothing for him. And then on top of it, and I'm like I said, I just jumped and I had to explain that to her just like that. And she was just like, "Oh." I'm like, you know what? I'm like, and so after a while, I just kept going through it. My daughter ended up having 5 ancient civilization teachers in 1 year. 5. The assistant principal tried to do it. He couldn't do it. I'm like, you guys are teaching stuff that you don't know. So when I finally had enough this summer, and I found that the kids could be homeschooled, I came in with the paperwork, and I withdrew them. Their teachers called me and asked me why I did that. And I explained. I said, with all due respect, you guys do not have the aptitude to teach my child. You don't. You don't know enough. So I was sitting there. Huh?
I said, what they have to say about it?
He asked me to elaborate, so which I did. So then I said, my history, my historic, what I know for history, you wouldn't be able to match. I can already tell by the way you talking. By the way you talking tells me how much you have not read. And I didn't say it in an arrogant way. I said, and I told him, I'm not saying this to be arrogant, but if I were to tell you things right now, you wouldn't know. And this one happened to be Hispanic. I said, I said, what do you consider yourself? I said, you're Hispanic. No, I'm sorry. He was Italian. And I had to break it down to him. I said, you're Italian, I'm assuming, right? So I said, you come from Italy, correct? Yeah. I said, okay, well, we have all these African-American children over here who don't know where they come from. So they must be taught properly. You know you can always go back to Italy and go get your roots. These children cannot go back. These are lost souls. They must be told the truth. You guys cannot lie to them. Or you must put people in there that know the truth and can tell them. I said, when you have a child, your child's going to be Italian. Whatever other race you may have with, they still going to have the Italian blood. They have roots. I said, black American children don't have roots. Our roots, only as far back as everybody else know, it goes back to slavery. But it goes back further than that. So he was just sitting there just like on the phone listening like, oh, damn. He's like, well, can I call you sometime? I'm like, you can call me anytime you want to. I can give you books to read. I said, I'll give you these books to read that lead you on the path. I said, man, so you may cross paths with my daughter again one day, but not at this particular point. I said, you guys are not prepared for her. And she needs to know these things. I said, do you know of Queen Azinga? He's like, who? I said, that's my point right there. Queen Azinga was one of the first pharaohs in Egypt that was a lady. I said, you have young black women in the classroom with you. How are they going to know to be strong when they don't even know that they were kings and queens at one time? All you taught is them to be subject of slaves and servitude. I said, my daughter's not built like that. I said, my daughter's telling you guys stuff and you guys are going to look it up. So who's teaching who? He said, you got a point there. I said, it's not your fault. You can only stay within the structure of the system. You can't go outside of the curriculum. They'll call you a rebel. I know this. I get that. He's like, no, I know you. I said, I understand quite well. See, a lot of times when you talk to these teachers, they talk down to you. But once they found out that you know stuff, then they leave you alone. Especially if you're minority. Minority, they swear to God that you have no interest in your child. You just want them there to be babysat. And that's what most people do, stick their children in the school just to be babysat, just to get them out of the way for the day. I need a breather. You need to teach your child. You don't need no breather. If your child don't have no pride about themselves, how they going to be able to know to have some sort of self-esteem? No? So when I gave him the papers, she looked at me and she was like, well, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to homeschool. And she was like, you? I said, yeah. I said, I do have a degree in history and mathematics. She was like, oh. I said, I bet y'all didn't know that, huh? That the dreads threw you off. I said, it would throw me off too. And she kind of sat down because she knew what I was saying. See, I don't have to. See, I'm not gonna go up in there and get all up in their face and get rah-rah like they think that all of us black people do. Yo, black people are smart too. Minorities are smart. We're not even. We're smart. So Hispanic people are smart too. They just mess with them because they don't understand English. But just because you don't understand English don't mean you're dumb. That's just like me going over to Mexico with very little Spanish. I'm gonna be in the same boat they are. I'm gonna struggle. That doesn't mean I'm stupid. I'm just illiterate to the culture. And they play on that. They play for your illiteracy of the culture as being subordinate. Well, you should, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, and I even broke down the Bill of Rights. I mean, I broke down the amendment. I was like, the 13th and 14th, I was like, slavery still exists. He was like, really? I said, did you read it? He was like, well, I said, that's my point exactly. How are you supposed to instruct these children when you're barely read? You must read. And my attitude is with the teaching system right now is the instructors are too young. They're too young. They're too young. Right now, if your daughter go to school, I guarantee you her teacher's about 25 years old, 26 years old.
Yeah, they do have a lot of young teachers.
Right. And my whole thing is, and I'm not knocking the teachers, but again, they're human. They're 25. Do you remember when you were 25? Huh?
I remember when I was 25?
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, but did you think that you could keep up a curriculum for children and be well read and everything else and understand? You're just understanding your daughter right now at 2.
Right.
So how the fuck are you going to sit there and understand 8-year-olds when you're 25 years old? You're only about 15 years away from them.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean? When they were born, you were 15. That's what I'm trying to say. So I think the gap is too narrow. There's no experience. There's no knowledge. When we were going to school, we had older teachers who probably had kids or grandkids or whatever the case may be. No?
Yeah, we had.
Right. So they knew. So they knew.
That my mom had when she went to school.
No, go ahead. What was you saying? I'm sorry.
Old people.
Huh?
Hold on, baby. What?
What would you say? Your mom did what now?
I said I had my teachers I had in high school. My mom, I had the same teachers my mom had in high school.
Right. So.
They're old.
Right, but what I'm saying is that older wisdom would help them deal with. If they knew little Johnny was an asshole, but they knew he was smart, they knew how to handle him. The younger ones that are 25, when they get a little asshole child, they treat him like a little brother and just put his ass to the side. They're not interested in him because they still have a 25-year-old mentality. Half of these teachers still got boyfriends that are probably cheating on them. They got personal problems that they bring in. They was at the club the night before. These people are human. They're 25. They're young. I mean, if they were dealing with a daycare, that's fine. But you're talking about the curriculum and structure of a child. How can a child teach another child? At 25, you're still young. You don't know shit. You don't know nothing. Dead up. Even like I said, I hate to even go back to it. Even if you go in the Bible, it says nobody has full wisdom until you're at the age of 40. Moses didn't have full wisdom. He had to study 40 years before they considered him wise. So at 25, they had no conversation for him. His conversation was meaningless.
Well, people, that concludes another episode of Ask Piff. I had to go hard body on them charter schools, man. Yo, they a pipeline to prison. I'm gonna stress that. Anyhow, contact me on my website. That's www.askpiff.com. That's ASKPHIFF.com. And stay tuned for the next episode, man. I might have that sports talk, or I might have that real talk. Stay tuned, man. Every Tuesdays and Thursdays, man, they're gonna be upstream. And we out.